Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be doing a reading on Kanye West, and we are going to be seeing what's going on with him. Did he really give up his business partnerships because he wanted to be free? Or is Kanye going through a manic episode where he's being taken advantage of by certain people, and other people are not wanting to associate with him because he doesn't have any tact? Okay. We know that Kanye West has been diagnosed as being bipolar, but I mean, is the guy really a genius or what? Okay. I think he's really full of himself, but we'll just see what Spirit says on this reading. And we'll ask Spirit, what's going on with him? Is he actually a genius who has concocted this plan to speak out against everyone and free himself from the burdens of corporate America? Or is he just ranting, just mumbling, just going off? Okay, so we're going to see what Spirit says in this reading. Let's light this candle. We're going to open up by saying a prayer to the spirit guides, and guardian angel. We thank you for being with us as we come for insight and information, for better reasoning and judgment. We ask that the universal mind will open up all channels to receive and relay information with clarity. Let it be so, and so it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to cut these cards, and then we're going to see what Spirit says in the reading. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for insight and information. The time is 8:50, so Kanye's number is 13. There's that occultic number coming out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, we got a partnership card coming out with the 2 of Cups. That's the first card to come out here. This 2 of Cups. Alright. What's next? We have the 5 of Wands. Conflict. We have the Queen of Wands. The Lover's card. Wow. The 3 of Cups. 4 of Swords as a root issue. Page of Swords, root issue. Judgment card, root issue. I don't see any mental health cards here, people, but we're going to find out. Rewards. Alright, so let's see what Spirit's saying here. We've got this 2 of Cups coming out, which is very accurate. This is in the place of the present. That card is about partnerships. It's about seeing eye to eye with our partners. And that card is generally about union, coming together, okay? But I feel like that card is coming out in the present because Spirit is saying, yes, this is about partnerships. This is about seeing eye to eye. I do also see the Lover's card coming up here. Also the 3 of Cups. So we've got some emotional stuff going on, and we've got some partnerships. I really also feel like this has like a double meaning, because I feel like this card like relates to Kim. I really feel like Kanye wants his family back. And I feel like, this is one of the things that is happening, because I do definitely feel like Spirit is saying he made a threat. He made a threat. Like, you know what? If we're not going to do this thing anymore, I don't have anything else to pretty much, hide or live my life in secrecy. I'm going to let it all out. Okay? I'm going to let it all out. I honestly feel like this is like an attempt to, hold on to Kim. But the reason why this card's coming out in the present is he's losing some other partnerships, okay, because of this, okay, because of his behavior. So we see that. We know the Spirit's on point with that. And then we've got the 5 of Wands coming out inverted. Spirit saying this is the problem. So this is him like saying, because this card inverted represents wanting a conflict to end. okay, wanting the conflict to end. In the wake of him doing this, he is making other conflicts for himself, but sometimes when people make a threat, they feel like they can't take it back. They have to keep going with it, okay? So I feel like this card, this Five of Wands, as a problem, it represents wanting to end conflict or wanting conflict to come to an end, okay? Now, this Queen of Wands, this card is major energy here. This card represents, really someone who's kind of chaotic. They want it all to they want to have it all together. So I really feel like this card, and this card is in the place of the past. So I feel like this card is representing Kim, and I do feel like he feels that, he basically wants his family back. And I know we see him with someone else, but that's just, because she has someone else. So we have to remember, people usually act out of spite sometimes. But I definitely feel this was more of like, okay, you're going to do this, I'm going to do that then, The Lover's card comes back up again. This is another card about partnerships. This is another card about relationships. And the Lover's card, this card usually represents like being aligned or being on the same page, okay? That card is in the place of the future. I honestly feel like this card is saying there is going to be some type of help or some type of truce from this. Like, it is going to have an effect on the family. I'm not saying that it's going to bring them back together again, but what I am saying is that they're going to come to an agreement. They're going to make just an opportunity for them to be able to work together better, more, and kind of like see eye to eye, right? Then we've got this Three of Cups card coming up. This Three of Cups. That card really represents reunions, celebrations, because people are coming back together again, okay? So that card is in the place of the consciousness. It really just tells about how someone is thinking, what they want to do in their mind, okay? So I do feel like, Kanye doesn't mean to make all this drama and riffraff. I do feel like he is going to be able to reconnect with some of the people that he's pissed off during this little rant that he's been on. But I feel like this card definitely shows him what he's thinking, what he really wants. He really wants to be in unity with everyone. He really wants to work together with people. He really wants to come back together with Kim, but he just doesn't know how to do it. I feel like Spirit is saying right now, like, this is kind of his way of showing people that, hey, I'm trying to get your attention. You're not listening to me, so I'm going to make you listen to me, right? So I definitely feel like this card represents that. He's very emotional too. I definitely feel like the Three of Cups represents like a lot of emotion welling up in someone because they maybe feel left out, okay? Their desire actually to build some sort of unity. But I feel like he's just going about it the wrong way, okay? The next card that comes out, this card's a root issue card, right? This Four of Swords. I always call the Four of Swords. That's like the hospital card. This card like means, hey, you need to take rest. You need to get away, okay? Kanye is having issues with sleeping, okay? He's having issues with sleeping. He needs to take like some sort of sleep medication or something like that. And that card really suggests that you need to step away from all the things that you have been doing, and you need to take some type of rest, okay? Solitude, and work on your health, Okay. This is a root issue for Kanye that shows that he consistently has problems with sleeping. He consistently has problems with self-care. Okay. So that's something that he needs to do. Sometimes when people have problems with self-care too and they have some sort of mental illness, it's like they fail to take their medication. And they think they can kind of sort of live without it. Okay. Now, this Page of Swords. See, remember pages. Pages are about information. Pages are about communication. Pages are about facts, getting the facts, research. I definitely feel like this card says, this Page of Swords, it's telling us that he has an issue with communication, and actually he is quite frequently acting before he thinks about it. And so I definitely feel like he doesn't do his research. He gets caught up in things that are not facts, okay? Probably, doesn't take time to read through things, okay? So he needs to do that. That's one of his biggest issues, his biggest problem. This is like a root issue, right? Page of Swords. It means your root issue is communication, acting before you actually think through things and get all the facts and the information that you need so that you can have good judgment, right? Now, funny I said that because now here's the Judgment card coming out. This card represents a root issue, but it's also a major energy in the spread. This card, both of these cards in the middle, I always consider them the major energy in the spread. So one of the major energies going on here is this Judgment card. Judgment represents courts sometimes. It represents being able to make good decisions. Judgment card also could represent like if you're judging other people harshly, okay? I feel like as a root issue, Kanye has an issue with making good decisions. His judgment is off, okay? Spirit, why is his judgment off? We're going to have to ask Spirit that. But I definitely feel like his judgment is off. He's not really a good judge of character. And he acts on things too quick before he weighs the pros and the cons of everything, okay? So this guy, the Spirit saying he has really a habit of having bad judgment, okay? I definitely feel like that's a problem a lot of people have. So I don't think Spirit is saying like he's a genius here and he's doing this stuff on purpose, okay? If this Judgment card comes out, this card generally represents that someone needs to do a better job at being able to evaluate and analyze things so they can make better decisions, okay? Now, this card is coming out in the place of this card is hopes and fears. This card is about rewards. This card is about working towards something. It is about getting paid, guys. This is the Seven of Pentacles, okay? The Eight of Pentacles, I'm sorry. The Eight of Pentacles. This card is about like when you go to work and you put in like work in a training program, or you're doing something to where, you're expecting to graduate. You're expecting to reach a milestone so that you can get paid. This card is in the place of hopes and fears. I definitely feel like Spirit is confirming here that, this isn't something that he planned for. He actually was counting on getting this money. He needs this money. And, it's easy for us to all say, oh, you don't need $1 billion or whatever. But Kanye has a lot of businesses going on. He's got a school. I'm pretty sure he has a lot of people working for him. I'm pretty sure he's got legal things that he needs to take care of and pay for. So This card in the place of hopes and fears, represents wanting to receive that reward, but then, fearing what's going to happen now that you've lost it. Okay? So, now, this last card, this Knight of Pentacles here. I always call this the lazy man's card, especially when it comes out inverted like this, because it represents someone who's not putting as much effort into things as they should. They're not putting as much thought into things as they should. And it's kind of sort of like their motivation is low. Okay? Their motivation is low. I definitely feel like Spirit is saying, because this is in the place of the outcome, right? I feel like Spirit is saying he's using up a lot of energy right now. So he's about to come to a period where he's going to have no choice but to take rest, okay? So look for Kanye to kind of like disappear from the scenes for a little bit. He's not going to be out. He's not going to be about. He's not going to be talking anymore. He's going to be chill. We're not going to hear from him for a good while. He's just going to be low key, okay? So I feel like Spirit is saying that's what this card represents. During that time of him being low-key, remember we got the Lover's card in the place of the future, okay? During that time, he is going to be working with other people, unifying with different members of his family. He is going to become more closer to Kim and his kids. He's been estranged for a while, but that's going to be changing, and he's going to be working on having a better relationship with that other side. I definitely think it's because there's some personal things and issues that they know that he knows. So more than anything, I feel like this is like a cry for help, because it's like you want things to be back the way that they were, but they're not. So this is kind of sort of his way of like getting his attention and letting people know, look, I'm serious, right? If things don't change, this is how it's going to be, because I told you I felt the threat there earlier, okay? So that, when we have people that we love, family members and different things, and we have stuff going on with them, it's really easy for everybody to say what they would do. Let's ask Spirit right now. I'm going to ask Spirit about the rewards and the recognition. Is he going to receive any of his contracts back, okay? Let's see. Damn it, I put those cards back up here, but we're going to take them down. Get back to, I have the number 13. Let's see, what was that? I think that's it right there. Let's see. Do a horseshoe spread. See, there's that card coming out again. That's showing need to get some sleep, anxiety, stress. Okay, so that card's coming up again when we're asking about rewards. Also, cooperation. The cooperation card is coming up again. I really feel like this kind of represents Kanye not really wanting to cooperate with people on their terms, right? He's bringing everybody to his terms. So I do feel like there is something like that going on, and I feel like that's what everyone feels when they're saying, oh, it's a plan, it's a plan, it's a plan. Well, it's kind of somewhat sort of a plan, because it's like a plan to act a fool unless people give you what you want, So that's what I'll say about that. Then the Knight of Swords, it's coming up, right? So this card is saying, you know what? He's moving too quick. He needs to slow down. He needs to relax. And he needs to figure out how he can cooperate with people in a better way, for one. But Spirit isn't saying that. It's just, this card's moving too quick. It needs to slow down, right? Also, the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is coming up. This card is saying it's affecting his creativity, okay? So I kind of sort of don't feel like on his own, I don't know, right now, when you're going through things like this, it is better to kind of create, put it in an album, paint a picture or something. He is an artist, so I feel like he expresses himself a lot better in his art than he does speaking, but at the end of the day, this card represents this is affecting his creativity, definitely. And then we have the Sun card coming up. This is another card about kids, okay? So I feel like Spirit is saying, all in all, he's moving too quick, but the reason why is because of his kids, right? His kids is something that I feel like he needs to give more in the way of trying to be, more supportive and a better example. Because for me, I feel like he comes off as having a really big ego and he makes everything about himself. Okay, he might mean well, right? And this is his way of handling the situation, but he could do a better job at expressing himself, and instead of threatening, he could simply do things differently so that people could give him what he wants. After what Spirit is saying in this reading, it kind of reminds me of my husband a little bit, because he has like a specific love language, but sometimes I wish he would just do certain things that I ask him to do instead of doing his love language. But when I see this card, because this card, this Nine of Pentacles here, this card also comes out, and like I said, that always reminds me of the Lazy Man card, even though I feel like in this reading it represents being more motivated on your own terms, and losing motivation for kind of sort of the things that you need to do that are more positive, that help you express yourself a little bit better. Okay, so I kind of feel Spirit is saying here with this Nine of Wands, it's time for him to slow down. Spirit is also saying here with this card, this here card, and it's inverted like this. It's Nine of Swords. Person needs to take sleep, take rest, take a break, take care of yourself, okay? That's what we encountered here also with this Four of Swords Hospital card, okay? We also see some of the root issues is not wanting to cooperate with people. So he's kind of got this thing with himself where he's like, we're going to do it my way or we're going to do it no way. I can see that with him because he's pretty famous. He has a lot of money. Most people are used to taking orders from him and doing what he says. And when people don't do that, that puts him in an uncomfortable position or situation. We also have this Page of Swords here, which shows that, he pretty much acts before he really thinks through things. He doesn't give things enough thought before he actually dives head first into something. So he kind of says and does stupid things because of that, and then later he thinks about them and he's like, oh man. I don't see any mental health cards coming up here, and that's not to say that there is no mental health issues, but I really kind of sort of feel like the mental health issues is not affecting the way that he's expressing himself more than it's affecting the way that he's processing information, right? And then he's going about getting some sort of relief from it. And this card shows here his creativity is off. So he needs to really, go back to put it into the studio, putting these types of things into songs and writing about them or whatever. That would help him kind of have a little bit more order to the way he expresses himself. And it would help him think about things before he acts on stuff. And we know that Kanye West had a habit of, like I said, diving head first into something before he really thinks about it, because that's what he did at like the awards show with like Taylor Swift. He just walked on stage and interrupted her moment or whatever, and he didn't really think to himself like, this isn't right, I shouldn't do this to her. Whatever I'm going through, it's not her fault, right? And we also have this Five of Wands coming up in the place of the problem. So that's more wanting to like end conflict, right? You kind of sort of want everybody to stop fighting, okay? When you see that card or you want to stop the conflicts that you have with other people, okay? I definitely feel like he's going about this the wrong way. I also feel like this Queen of Wands here, this Queen of Wands coming out inverted, this kind of sort of represents Kim, right? He feels like she's being mean, or she's being an occultist bitch. She's got... I definitely feel like when we see the Queen of Wands, that represents a woman who can kind of have like a little bit of manipulation or whatever. Sometimes that's a little bit of a witchy card. I'm not saying that she's doing spells on him or anything, but he kind of feels like the family is, you know, into this stuff or whatever. And I don't know, I kind of feel like he definitely doesn't really want to take a stand against that. Or he wants to take a stand against that, but he's just doing it like in the wrong way, right? And then we have this card, like he wants better unions, better partnerships. He just doesn't know how to go about creating them. Especially since I definitely feel like he's really full of himself, so he doesn't want to concede to what other people ask him. He wants to give them orders, okay? The Lover's card is coming up. That represents him wanting to be on the same page. Again, we have this Three of Cups. That's a card of saying, you know, in the place of the consciousness. It's more geared at focusing on him thinking like he wants unity. He wants to come together with people. He wants to have like some good relationships and partnerships. He's just got bad judgment, which actually makes it easy for him to place his rewards and his recognition on the line. Okay? So that's what's wrong with Kanye West. This isn't a plan, guys. This isn't a plan. So, you know, I hope that you guys recognize like certain signs of mental illness when you see them, like people being grandiose. They're going through manic episodes where they think they could, you know, accomplish a whole bunch of stuff. They're taking credit for things like movies and different albums that they themselves did not have a direct influence over, okay? Definitely looked up the movie Django Unchained. He did not influence that movie, okay? So whoever says that he did, they're a lie. Thank you, family, so much for watching. I appreciate you. Make sure you click on that like and subscribe button if you enjoy the content of my channel. And see you next time. Make sure to leave me some comments in the comment section about what you think. Do you think Kanye is just going through a mental illness type of rant thing right now? Or do you think this is a genius, well thought out, skilled plan for him to free himself from the establishment and do something revolutionary? Thank you so much.